the magic realm of Outworld, Shao Kahn hungered for power, for strength, for all things dark and arcane. The blood he spilled in his brutal conquest of Outworld is impossible to measure or imagine, as was his hunger. Once all he could see was under his control, Shao Kahn turned his attention to Earth. But the Elder Gods had created a mystical tournament to protect Earth, known as Mortal Kombat. Shao Kahn could only lay claim to Earth if his champions were victorious in the tournament. Thus far, Earth's warriors have triumphed, saving Earth. But some fights only require a lone victory, and all can be lost with a single defeat.
You have ensured peace for Earth once again this day. But there is no power in these medals apart from the knowledge you must carry into every battle. That no one is a champion alone. If one of us is in chains, none of us are free. If even one succeeds, the victory is ours. Liu Kang, you have defeated the sorcerer Shang Tsung. You have saved this realm as your forefathers did from his evil. You are Earthrealm's champion and hero.
Thank you, Master Raiden.
When next the tournament is fought, it will be my ancestors that are honored.
Sonya Blade, you were a warrior before the tournament began. But here you have been tested and triumphed against enemies beyond Earth's measure.
Thank you, Master Raiden.
I know you have your chief officers to report to, but know that you will always have friends here and warriors willing to help you in your future missions.
Sir.
Johnny Cage.
Lay it on me, Raiden.
Bow, you idiot.
Despite your natural shortcomings, you have proven yourself a valuable ally against Shang Tsung. You have the respect of myself and the Shaolin Order.
Master.
Ah, Kung Lao. Family honor is not won in a single day. It is won all the days of a life. It is won in fidelity and faithfulness. It is achieved through perseverance. There is not a warrior here that would have survived if you had not warned them of the traps in Goro's lair. Your family has been honored. Your friends honor you as well. For the moment, you have earned rest. Enjoy the peace you will find walking these grounds. Are poison to our world. Even their blood and rotting bones are like an acid to this realm. You must send them back to where they came from. Defend the Academy.
Hey guys, welcome back with Bean Ermac. Today we're going to continue our playthrough of Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. And as you can tell, we're Reptile, who is normally only a versus mode playable character. But, you know, we got a little behind the scenes magic going on here. You know how it goes. You know, a little bit of gui, a little bit of gua. You know, to make it so that way we can play as Reptile straight from the get-go. No issues. No ifs, buts, or coconuts. And the main story mode here. As you can see, we're, you know, he's made a little bit of a face turn here. Now we're defending the Academy instead of attacking it. And as you can also see, I mean, all his fatalities work perfectly fine on all of these characters here. So, I mean, my theory is that all those versus mode characters were originally just meant to be playable characters in the main story. I mean, it seems kind of silly when you think about it to have them just all these characters with all this work done on for some, you know, half-baked versus mode. I mean, they have some cool arenas, but I mean, that's kind of about the majority of it. But, I mean, there's that. I mean, every time they jump through a portal, they kind of have like a special portal screen attached to them and all that other stuff, which may be just their fall from height screen, but I don't know. I can't remember. I love how this guy he's already dazed, right, for the finisher. Poor Academy guys, though. I used to think it was just kind of funny, like they were just kind of props, but as I got older, I kind of really do feel bad for these poor monks. That was unintentional, but that was awesome. Last week's episode, I kind of went over my history with the franchise a little bit, you know, starting from, you know, when I first found the game with my stepdad and brothers, then eventually playing it with my stepdad, then I beat the games on my own a few years later when I got good, and then eventually I was able to beat it with my friend in co-op for the first time, and finally able to beat that stuff. And you know, he wasn't able to beat it with his brother either because he got stuck on Shao Kahn as well. So I mean, it was kind of a bucket list thing for the two of us to be able to finally beat these games and stuff like that. Would have been cool to do a co-op playthrough with him, but A, you know, I don't live in my former hometown anymore, and B, whenever I tried to replay it with him, he said, we already beat it. I'm good. Bucket list finished, which, you know, I get. Even the allure of playing as different characters, when I wasn't able to get them. But no worries, maybe someday. Alright. You know, I never really understood Reptile's slide. Like with Sub-Zero makes sense. He's freezing the ground as he goes, but what the hell's going on with Reptile, you know? I get it was just kind of reusing move assets and stuff like that, but I don't know. I always wondered what the physics behind it were. Which that said, I mean, I think one of the things I'm not a big fan of in modern MK is how they kind of explain everything. I like the mystery of these older games. Kind of like what's going on underneath Reptile's mask here. Because like it's not full Reptile regalia. It's kind of interesting. Reptile is probably one of the weirdest characters design-wise, just because of the fact of like, yeah, he's a reptile in like every appearance, essentially, but it always looks different in some way. Like, what, you know, even his alternate costumes always look different. It's so weird. But this is probably my by far my favorite reptile, actual reptile design, because it's a good mix of his ninja outfit as well as you know, his actual reptile design. I don't know what I was waiting for there, but I mean, it was so good. I think this is the only outfit for Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks that just kind of got ported over from this game into Armageddon. I think the weirdest outfit in this game I've ever noticed is his humanoid design, because the player 2 color outfit option is like the human reptile in this game, but they didn't really make him human. They just changed the skin color to like a, you know, a humanish tan. So I don't know, it's just probably the most awkward looking costume of all time, seeing a human skin color with scales.
This isn't right. We defeated you.
Also, speaking of which, I mean, this is probably my favorite Sonya Blade design, because it's a good bit of you know, cool, unique design. Honestly, that's not exactly what they wear in the military, but I think it's cool. I like the ponytail, and in comparison to her other 3D outfits, I mean, in like Deadly Alliance and Armageddon, I mean, it's just, her face looks so mannish and weird. Her hair looks off and not very fluid, and I mean, her boobs look like freaking cinder blocks. So I mean, it was just a weird design in the 3D era, but with this game, I think they kind of just took that design and made it more aesthetically pleasing while adding that ponytail and stuff. It's interesting too because I think her design in that cutscene and like her character model in this is actually different than the cutscene model we've seen earlier. Because I think in the cutscene model, with all the super high res graphics and stuff like that, I think it was like just a fully brown jacket, but I could be wrong. But that said, I'm not the biggest Sonya Blade fan, but that is definitely her best outfit. You can make the argument too. I kind of really liked her MK 2011 alternate outfit because it was pretty practical in a way. Like, it definitely reminds me of just full-on girl military, but at the same time, it's a pretty good looking outfit, all things considered. Whereas her primary outfit, which is kind of really weird in the sense of like, it was clearly meant to like show off her body and stuff like that, but it was just done in a really weird way. Like the weirdest vest design I think I've ever seen. Man, that kick is amazing. I'm figuring out a few more of his combos, but for some reason Reptile's combos just don't really connect half the time in this mode. I don't know what the deal is, which kind of makes them not very fun to use because I'm just missing half the time. I remember this part always used to get me as a kid. I couldn't, my little kid mind could not process, oh, I just have to wait until that goes and then I can avoid the freaking things. You know, those spiked balls, and they do a shit ton of damage. It's always so weird to me, like if I wanted to monetize this video, I'd have to probably keep that, you know, swear word out, you know, shit and fuck and all this other crap. And it's just so weird to me. Whoa, what the hell is that noise? What the hell is that? Oh, okay, it's his soul. I guess they didn't have enough time to get to me before the cutscene. But yeah, it's weird that like I can't say shit or fuck, but like I could probably have violent content in my videos and have it be no issue. I really fucked up that fatality. And on top of that, I mean, it's so weird that people, I understand it to a degree, but it's always kind of been weird to me that like it's more it's more appropriate in society to have someone, you know, get their head torn off and their guts ripped apart, but I mean, geez, just don't dress these women in revealing clothing, anything but that. Like, that always kind of weird. I never understood that. That's kind of something that bothered me in MK11. And the thing is, too, as far as MK11, actually I liked a lot of those designs of the characters. Like, I think that's probably my favorite Jade design. I'm not a big Jade fan or whatever, but I mean, I think that was probably my favorite design with the hood and the purple chest plate and stuff like that. I think I liked Katana's design in that. I can't remember hers too well, honestly. But I think they had some pretty good designs, all things considered. I think that's my favorite Cassie Cage design, which, I mean, she was only in the 2 games so far, but I just hated that the idea of it was, oh, well, you know, we're just a little more mature guys, that's why we don't have revealing outfits, you know, grow up, guys, I mean, come on, you know, we're just mature, we don't exploit women for all this other stuff. It's like, dude, come on, like, that was just the phoniest message there is out there. You know, I mean, like, we're talking about fancy, freaking goofy video game stuff, you know. I'm not saying I want every woman to dress like that or anything stupid like that, or. And I think it's kind of I'm also on. I'm kind of a guy who's in the middle of like everything. I feel like, in which I can see both sides. Like, I think it's also stupid that it's like this game sucks because the women aren't dressed to where I can see everything but their nipples. And, you know, the lips on their vaginas and shit like that. Pussy lips or whatever. But, I mean, like, at the same time, I just hate how like they have the message of, oh well, we're better than we were and all this other stuff. Society's moving on, yada. Horse shit. The majority of people don't really give a shit about that. It's just the people that will make the biggest fuss about that stuff. I feel like they just kind of want to pander to them on it. So I mean, like they tried to say, yeah, I mean it's just more historically accurate outfits and all this other stuff. But I mean, at the same time, you know, it's not like I said. I actually liked a lot of the new designs for the females. I think when they try too hard, once again, to make it where it's like, oh man, look at how revealing this is and how sexy it is and yada yada, all that stuff. I think that a lot of times, in my opinion, it makes it like an off-putting design. But yeah, I don't know. I just say like, hey, look, you know, society's changing. We have to do things a little bit differently, or otherwise we might get in trouble with this kind of stuff. And honestly, I guess now I think about it, they can't really say that stuff but I mean, it's everybody knows that's kind of what the issue is at the end of the day. Like Melina's outfit, I'm not a big fan of in this game, not because it's too revealing. It's kind of to the point where like there's just nothing to really gravitate to or enjoy, I guess. There's just not really any, when there's nothing there, there's nothing that can be cool about it. Whereas in this game, I think like things like this were probably around the perfect time as far as you know, the outfits go, because you know they showed a little bit of the skin, you know, they had the oversized boobs and stuff like that. This game is a little ridiculous, as you'll see later on with the boob size, though. Like, I'll talk more about it when we actually see Katana and stuff. But I think as far as the outfit design, I mean, it's probably one of my favorite designs of Katana and Jade, because they just have a very similar outfit design. You know, it's always good to have a mix of the middle, you know, always have the middle ground, you know. You pick from one source, it gets rigid and stale. Just like what Iroh said. Ooh, I think that was a new one. Yeah, I feel like it's probably just me, but I feel like I'm missing with like half of my attacks with Reptile. Like even though I'm locked on, like he's attacking in weird directions. So yeah, I mean, as much as I love this game, and it's just some super small stuff. So don't take it as offense to it or anything like that, but there is definitely stuff that the sequel could have expanded upon and probably would have benefited from, because the sequel I think was going to be on next-gen consoles at the time, like Xbox 360. Maybe they would have had to wait a year until PS3 though, but I mean, this is definitely, like, it's amazing how this is probably one of a lot of fans' favorite Mortal Kombat games, and they never really were able to do a follow-up on it. I get it's because Midway kind of, they had to rely on Mortal Kombat for the money and stuff like that. I mean, even considering how good MK vs. DC Universe was, they never even had enough time or money to be able to save the company for the DLC. That's just sad. As much as I dislike that game, I mean, it still sold pretty well, all things considered, from what I remember anyway. But yeah, I'm just having fun with the texture mites. I let it go all the way to the top and come back down. But these are like the easy peasy lemon squeezy texture mites. I remember as a kid, I mean, I could do these ones, but even the next level, with the 9-second ones, I just wasn't able to do it. And eventually it just gets worse and worse and stuff as it goes on. But I've just never... I used to think I was like a good button masher, but I was just never a very good button masher at all. But at least I'm better than my friend anyway. Most of them anyway. But that's about it, folks. We freed the academy, so now it's time to just take this guy out. By the way, does anybody else think like the Wuxi Academy fight song is just a freaking jam? I kind of also missed the music at the time. I think it was, once again, maybe not the biggest jams, but it was always good with the atmosphere. And they had some pretty good ones.
They took Sony and killed I don't know how many monks. Shouldn't my family feel honored now?
Yeah, this game's story also, I think it's pretty good, but as you've already noticed, there's a lot of camp.
Do you trust me? Listen to my words as you continue your exercises, for you will need to remember them later. Shang Tsung is not as defeated as we had hoped. I faced him while you fought the attacking mutants. More, I believe he now defies the Elder Gods themselves. Baraka could not have come with a legion of mutant scum had Shang Tsung not been aiding him. With his defeat in the Mortal Kombat tournament, he will be anxious to prove himself superior to you and take his vengeance. This will make him reckless and more dangerous than ever. I had hoped you would have time to heal your wounds in the tournament, but I was gravely mistaken. You must go to Outworld. We must take the battle there if we are to save Earth.
I am weary after the tournament, but rest is a luxury afforded only to the dead. Of course I will go to Outworld.
And what of you, Kung Lao? What do you say?
Of course.
Take the portal to Outworld.
Look at the eyes, folks. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's just, the story is great and everything like that, but it kind of, Mortal Kombat around this time kind of reminds me of a little bit of the early Resident Evil games. Not as bad as for in terms of campiness and goofy lines and stuff like that, but there's a lot of awkwardness with the line delivery, a lot of weird things characters say out of nowhere, and the story progresses in a weird way at times. Like, you'll notice when it comes up. I mean, I said it in my Ermac video. The thing I loved about this time is I just loved how campy and goofy and how they kind of embraced the geekiness of like everything they were incorporating into the franchise and stuff like that. And that's kind of, whereas nowadays, I don't think they entirely necessarily make fun of it, but it's kind of like, yeah, you know, characters like Reptile and the villains, you know, while they would be kind of cool at this time, I think they're kind of made to be as like geeky and losery as possible. Like, yeah, get out of your basement, you know, stupid reptile thing. Touch grass. You like the smoothness of that transition? And by the way, we're gonna get cutscenes that are all just gonna be like this. Like, if you thought we were getting all those high-res cutscenes like we seen earlier today, or earlier this video, I mean, yeah, we were spoiled with this level. Now all we have to look forward to is the ending. It's the final movie. But that's alright. These cutscenes do their job well. Plus it allows us to actually see Reptile in them.
If I had let you enter before, you would have been pulled inside out.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, what the hell does this cutscene supposed to even mean? Like, we were gonna be pulled inside out. I don't know, they just add weird stuff that I think is funny. But, that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Make sure to check out next week's episode on Fighting Friday. But above all else, please remember to have a nice day.